So random walks occur all over cooking in many different ways, and soon you're going to see a video by America's Test Kitchen where they're showing you how to make perfect coleslaw that doesn't get watery. And they're going to tell you about osmosis, and the whole reason that the recipe works is actually because of osmosis. So before we see that segment, let me just explain a little bit about what osmosis is. So the concept of osmosis is very similar to diffusion in a lot of ways, and it builds on random walks just like diffusion does. And so just as we have talked about how if you have calcium ions or water ions sort of in one part of a solution, they will kind of naturally wander about and spread out through the solution. The same concept kind of applies here, except the difference is that in a lot of biological materials, in cell walls, there are membranes, and they're usually semi-permeable, as we say. And semi-permeable means that water can diffuse through naturally, whereas other molecules cannot. And usually large molecules cannot diffuse through, or very charged molecules, such as ions, cannot diffuse through. So here is just a line indicating a cell wall. You can imagine that this is the cell wall of the cabbage that you're soon going to see in America's Test Kitchen's video. And so what Dan is going to show you is that we have the cell wall, which the cell has water on the inside, and on the outside he's going to add salt to the water. And so we have a high concentration of salt within the water molecules on this side of the membrane. And so what's going to happen because of osmosis is that the water over here is randomly going to random walk into the side of the salt and try to kind of dilute it so that you have a similar salt concentration on both sides. So osmosis is the movement of the water molecules trying to equilibrate the salt concentration on one side of the membrane to be similar to that of the other. So the water molecules are going to move around randomly, and they're going to be crossing the membrane in both directions, but when they find themselves on the side of the membrane that has a higher salt concentration, they're going to have a higher probability of staying there. And so you're going to have an increase of water flux towards the side of the higher salt concentration. So now in this video with America's Test Kitchen, you're going to see how they apply this principle to make better coleslaw.